You want to know what separates an average man from a great one? Great men aren't born, they're made, and it starts with how they think. This video is a summary of the 4 agreements. It's a simple book, but a big life hack. You may have read it before. It's an OG in the self-help sphere. I'm saving the best agreement for the end because I got a twist on that one that I want to share with you. But it all starts with the word in life. In the beginning, there was the word. And so we're going to start with the first agreement, which is be impeccable with your word. I'm going to break down some personal stories and how you can apply each agreement into your life in very simple ways, because on this channel, we keep it simple with Whipple. So let's get into this. Be impeccable with your word. That means to speak with integrity and say only what you mean. So often in life, we just don't think before we speak, and we end up saying things that end up hurting other people. It's violent communication, it's unconscious. So we need to be impeccable with our word, which means think before you speak. And that starts to build integrity in your character over time. It's surprising how many people just don't do this habit. It's a simple habit for a big life change. So I like that it's common sense. All these agreements are really common sense, but it's just putting them into practice. Really, these are just reminders to myself and you as well. And also try to be precise with your speech. So it goes a little bit deeper there. Because first you want to think before you speak, and then to be precise when you do speak. It means, I used to do this a lot. I'm getting a lot better about if you give a little thought before you speak, then you can actually say what you mean and be precise with your speech. Why should we be sloppy with our words? We want other people to understand us and empathize us. And so we can show them how to become better men through precision with our speech. So nobody gets us confused, twist our words, put words in our mouth. They can't do that when you're precise with your speech. So that's what I love about being impeccable with your word, but it goes even deeper than that. Don't use your words to talk bad about yourself or gossip about other people. This is something I still struggle with to this day. I'm sure you do too. The internal dialogue that goes on in our heads, the way we talk to ourselves, I talk to myself in a way that I wouldn't tolerate from other people. So being impeccable with our word doesn't just go externally to the people around us, but it starts with ourselves and how we think about ourselves and talk about ourselves in our head. So that's a really important reminder, is to just check yourself when you have that internal dialogue going on. And then with other people and gossiping about them, you get together with your buddies, you end up talking shit about people. It's so easy. And so when other people slip into gossip, then we fall into that pattern with them, and it's really not doing any good. If we've got something to say to someone, we should have the guts and the courage to say it to their face and find some sort of positively constructive resolution. That's doing some good in the world. So be impeccable with your word. Final point on this one is use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. So instead of gossiping, complaining, talking shit on other people or ourselves, use the precision of our speech in the direction of truth and love. That's all I have to say about that. Common sense. Hopefully it is for you. But too often I go out there into society and I don't see that that's actually the case with people. So good reminder to myself, and I want to share that with you. So that's the first point, be impeccable with your word. Now let's move on to the second agreement. That is, don't take anything personally. That's a big one for people. I witness it time and time again, every day. Maybe not every day, but you know what I mean. I go out there a lot and I talk with people, and they might be sharing what they're going through with their social situations. And when I listen to what they're saying, I hear that they've taken something personally. What someone else said or did, they took to heart and internalized their words or actions. That's not actually a part of the truth of what's going on. So, first point I got on don't take anything personally is nothing others do is because of you. That's basically what I just riffed on. When other people say and do stuff, it is everything to do about them and nothing about you. Even if they're straight up shit talking to your face, it's a reflection of how they're feeling. We don't have to take it personally. Powerful reminder. Instantly make you a better man if you don't take anything personally. Has the power to transform your life instantly. So, what others say and do is a projection of their own reality and dream. I'm getting ahead of myself with my riff in there because that's what I just said. So, let's go on to my next point, which is when you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. That's really at the core of part of like my purpose in life is to, whenever I can, alleviate unnecessary suffering in my own life and hopefully in other people's too. My wife, my friends, community at large, peers online. I want to alleviate unnecessary suffering because some suffering is actually graciously built into the fabric of life, but unnecessary suffering I actually shouldn't tolerate, and I don't. And so by not taking anything personally, you can avoid unnecessary suffering and then model the way for your family and friends and community online. So don't take anything personally. Simple, powerful reminder. That's the second agreement. Let's move on to the third. But before going on to the third, I want to mention something to you real quick. It's the day before Thanksgiving as I'm recording this, so it's all about giving thanks. And so I've been thinking about this a lot recently, about gratitude. You know, people say, there's this thing about gratitude journaling, and I started journaling a month ago every day. It's a practice I do every morning and night. It's a wonderful practice. I'm loving it. But one of the journaling prompts that I've adopted from someone I admire online, a part of their prompt is, what are you grateful for? It's this morning prompt to prime up your brain for gratitude. I get it. But I've always had a problem with that. When you say every day, what are you grateful for? I'm like, my brain kind of shuts down because there's way too much possibility in that gratitude. It's like, well, I'm grateful for this microphone. I'm grateful for my wife, this light on me, whatever. So there's too much to think about. So we have to narrow it down. Gratitude compared to what? In life, context is key in everything. So if I want to share this with you. Comparison. I'm grateful for this compared to what though? We don't know about oxygen because it's all around us. So I have this framework that I want to share with you, which is like, for gratitude journaling, if that's a part of your prompt, think about it like this. It's helping me actually, is to think about your past self to 5 years ago, sometime in the past. Think about you back then. What would you be grateful for that you've accomplished now or eliminated from your life? Maybe you got rid of a bad habit. Like me, I quit drinking at the beginning of this year and I was addicted to alcohol for 22 years. So I might say, let's say to myself 1 or 2 years ago, I'm grateful sincerely that I made the choice on my own to stop drinking. That's a powerful gratitude framework. Or you can flip it around and go in the future. Imagine yourself 1 or 2, 3, 5 years in the future. What would you be grateful for in the future that you had changed in your life today for better or worse? Something you added that was positive, or something, a non-essential that you eliminated from your life? So that's been helping me with gratitude. putting some parameters and context in that so I can actually focus on what specifically I'm grateful for. It's helped me. I think it might help you. So anyway, it's Thanksgiving as I'm recording this, so I just want to share a little bit of that gratitude practice and framework with you. Before moving on to the third point, if you like what I'm sharing with you in this video and this channel in general, do all the things, like, comment, love to hear from you, subscribe, share this channel with someone who you think might be interested. I appreciate it. So the third agreement is do not make assumptions. God, these are all so powerful. It's hard to choose like what my favorite would be. As I was reading Don't Take Anything Personally, I thought it was that one, but now I think it's don't make assumptions, because even more than taking things personally, I see this more often than that actually, is people are making assumptions. Somebody else is saying something, texting something to you, text message misunderstandings, and they assume, they read into it way too much. So find the courage to ask questions and express what you really want. So instead of jumping to creating a story in your head when you hear or read something from someone else, if it rubs you the wrong way or lands inappropriately with you, pause, detach, ask some questions, and express to that person what you really want, and then come to a resolution. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. So it's that spark of a feeling you might get, a detachment briefly, and then a wondering, a questioning, and then a communication. So instead of going right to assumption land, think, ask, communicate. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. It reminds me of this book I read years ago called Radical Honesty. Highly recommend you check that one out. He gives this framework, a visual. I want to share it with you. It's powerful. So there's 3 concentric rings. In the center is an experience of a situation that actually happens, nothing else. That next ring outside of that is the stories that we create about that thing that was said or someone did. Someone said or did something, fact, center. The next one, the story that we create or the assumption. And then the third ring on the outside is the meaning of the story about the thing. So in radical honesty, that's the framework. So if we want to be honest about ourselves and other people in life, we look at the thing that happened detached from any story and meaning. The problem here is that most people, when something happens, they jump to story. Think about that. You've done it. You see it all around you. Once you think about this, people are jumping to story. Someone said or did this because blah, 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 right? That's the story. Unfortunately, it's all too common that people even bypass the story of an experience and go right to meaning. Somebody cuts you off in traffic or something. They are a jackass. God damn it. What's wrong with them? What's wrong with them is a story. They're a jackass. That's the meaning. So you get it, just like, so let's just stick to the facts here because they don't care about your feelings. Okay, moving on to the fourth agreement and the final one, which is always do your best. Reminder, note to self, always do your best. Now, before I go on to my bullet points about this one, the problem I have with it, not a problem, a disagreement. That's even funny, a disagreement with the agreement. No, it's like, how do I say this? What I witness commonly in the world around me is that most people are not doing their best. They're not. Myself included. Radical honesty. I'd like to think that I always do my best, but I'm not, and you're not, actually. That's my opinion. And we can do our best, but more often than not, we're lazy, we're distracted, our heart is not in the task or the thing, and we procrastinate. Like if we're honest with ourselves, because I hear it all the time. You might be hearing you talk about your parents or someone else's parents. They were doing the best they could. It's a euphemism almost. It sounds nice. It's reassuring, and people want to be reassured, and I understand that. But again, facts don't care about your feelings. Period. We're usually not doing our best. And if we can admit that to ourselves, then we can start to make progress and do better and really improve and become the great men, because they're not born, they're made. And they're made through being honest and precise and clear. And so anyway, doing your best. I am learning to do better and better and better. And that's really the path that we're all on for this self-development journey of life optimization. So just a reminder, just be honest with yourself. If you weren't doing your best yesterday or today, good, okay? Analyze and improve. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. Okay, so I'm getting into my bullet points here. So if you're triggered by that last part, you're in for a treat now, because we're going to get real soft. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you're healthy or sick. So yeah, honestly, sometimes you're going to be under the weather, feeling less than excellent, and it's okay to rest and recover. You don't always have to be hustling like the hustle culture of Gary Vee. A lot of that I love, but balance in life. Do your best, really push yourself, and then take a breath, relax, and enjoy. It's like get the clothes dirty, put them in the laundry, rinse, repeat. That's the process. Under any circumstance, simply do your best to avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. That's a powerful one too, because it kind of goes back to that, how we talk about ourselves being impeccable with your word, because I can fall into that trap of judging myself for not doing my best and doing shoddy work or whatever. But I guess it's just an iteration of improvements. Just do better. Let's try and do better, because we'll never do our best, honestly. I think. I don't know. Maybe you will. I don't know. It's difficult for me. So anyway, always do your best. Don't make assumptions. Don't take anything personally. Be impeccable with your word. You can follow all the chapters through the links in the description. Skip around. Hey, I want to let you know about something, by the way, that I'm starting a new professional project I'm going to be releasing in 2024. I'm completely pivoting my services that I offer to clients online. I'm actually transitioning from a photographer and videographer to becoming a full-time writer. Well, part-time, because I'm going to be doing this YouTube channel, so it's 50-50. So if you want to learn more about the educational email courses that I'm offering to clients online, I'm going to start soft opening that through December and going hardcore in January. You can find more information about that through the links in the description, and I'm also sharing more about that on X, formerly known as Twitter. So check the links in the description to learn more about that. Hit me up in the comments with any questions about these, and check out this playlist here if you want to see some highlight clips from longer episodes, and check out this playlist here because I'm sharing This episode is more mental game. These videos are more physical for life optimization. Thanks for tuning in. Keep it simple with Whipple. I wish you all the best out there.